Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in this world. This is Ghost Rose. I'm just about to grab my hot water and pour me some coffee. So give me just a moment. The game will be starting in just a few minutes. If you give me just a few moments myself, I'll be ready and we'll get started with this game. Ghost Rose. All right, everyone. I am back. I've got my hot water, and I'm about to pour myself a nice hot cup of coffee. It is 3:09 in the morning here in Japan. I got up about 10 till 3 just to do this game. It'll be the same tomorrow morning, or should I say tomorrow night. I'll have to get up again at about 10 till 3 in order to call this game for you guys. So I hope you can join again tomorrow. But for now, let's take a look at what we've got. Astros are on the road, of course, against the White Sox. A disappointing Game 1 loss all around. Astros pitching and hitting gave us a combo of defeat yesterday. Astros losing 7-3. Pretty miserable game. Really hoping that they turn it around today. Primarily because I don't enjoy being up at 3 o'clock in the morning to see a bummer of a game. But since Hunter Brown is on the mound and the Astros got the bad game out of their system already, I'm expecting something good today. Davis Martin is on the mound for the Chicago White Sox, and he's on the rubber as we speak, facing Jeremy Pena, who's the leadoff batter for the Astros. And here comes the first pitch. Swing and a miss, 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Strike one. Will Bite says, who's the avatar? Will Bite, that is my favorite anime character, Naruto. And I had him custom made with the Astros kind of baseball design in my logo, my channel logo. Pena hits the next pitch into left field for a hit. He's going to be on base with a leadoff single. Nice. Let's see if I can show a little highlight there. Yeah, I get a little highlight. There we go. Got the highlight window going. Single into left field. Pena on first base. Altuve comes to the plate. Oh. Can't show that much. There we go. Okay. 1-0 to Altuve. Here comes the pitch. That one's in there. Taken for strike one. Some of my controls were a little out of whack, but I've got it all straightened out now. 1-1 is the count to Altuve. Here comes a pitch. This one's grounded to the right side. They're going to try a double play. They don't have any time. But, oh, he's safe at second. Pena is safe at second. Man, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. They're not going to challenge the play at second base. Take a look at this. Oh, wow. Okay, so the grounder to second base, he wasn't even on the bag. Pena was so fast getting there. So we've got runners on first and second. Fielder's choice for Altuve. The shortstop did not have his foot on the bag, and Pena was there so fast. He's safe. So we got runners on first and second with no outs. The first pitch to Paredes is a little high for ball one. Man, that's a great start. We got runners on first and second with no outs. Here comes the pitch to Paredes. That's hit one hopper to shortstop. It might be a double play, and it is. That's unfortunate, but Pena does get moved over to third base. 2 away. And I haven't poured my coffee yet, so I guess I can do that now. Christian Walker comes to the plate with 2 outs. Pena on third. Here comes the pitch. Martin throws that one a little outside and low for ball one. Here comes the next pitch. That one's in there for strike one. Just a little inside. Similar to how Altuve started off with a ball and then a strike. 1-1 is the count. Sure would be nice if Walker could just get a hit here and the Astros get on the board early. That'd be a pleasant change. Here's, nope. Pitch does not come. Martin takes a little break, steps off the rubber. Astros have not had much luck scoring in the first inning this season. In the dirt, ball two. Will, but what I was saying earlier is if you know Naruto, this character is based on Naruto, but I modified his outfit to look like the Astros because his colors are similar and to put my logo on his shirt. Here comes the pitch from Martin. Swing and a miss on that outside pitch. Count is even, 2-2. Polish says we're going to take the series 2 out of 3. We better take the series. 1:10 p.m. in Houston. Yeah, I'm aware of the time difference, but just because of I've got family in Houston and family in Louisiana, so. Tori Zito says, let's go Stros. Absolutely. Full count to Christian Walker. 2 outs, runner on third. Here it comes. Come on, Walker. He swings and fouls that one off. Let's see. All right. Here comes a pitch. Fouled off again. One hit for the Astros in this inning, but they started off with runners on first and second, no outs. Now they have runner on third, Pena, with 2 outs. Walker with a full count. Here comes a pitch. Strike 3. Walker goes down. The Astros do nothing. They start off so good and then come back with nothing. Man, that was you talk about get your hopes up in the first inning and then completely dash them. Okay, we go to the bottom of the first. The White Sox will be up to face Hunter Brown in just a moment. First batter will be Chase Mydroth, followed by Miguel Vargas and Andrew Benintendi. I hope you guys are all doing all right today. I appreciate you being here. Whenever you have an opportunity, make sure you like the live stream. Yesterday, had a really, really good day on the live stream. Views were pretty good, but even more so, the likes were phenomenal. I couldn't have asked for more for yesterday's live stream. Typically, because since returning and doing the live streams, I haven't had a tremendous amount of viewers. I think it's just because it's a little early in the season, maybe. Because of that, the views haven't been as high, and so my minimal like preference has been 10 likes on the live stream, with my ideal being 20 and my dream goal being 30. Yesterday, I'm gonna go back and check again. Look at the total likes for yesterday's game. Yeah, yesterday was an amazing day. 344 total views for the video, which is a little better than usual, but the likes got up to 33. Biggest total of the year for me so far on my live stream. Really, really happy about that. Plus, I got to 300 subscribers today, right now at 301. Very happy. I want to express my gratitude to you guys for that. Hunter Brown is on the rubber, about to deliver the first pitch. It's on the way, right in the outside edge, 96 miles an hour. Strike 1 to Chase Mydroth. Here comes the next pitch. This one's hit into right field. That's going to be a leadoff single. So both the White Sox and the Astros have a leadoff single. No out base runner. Altuve is back out into left field today. Miguel Vargas comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him, just a little low on that sinker. Ball 1. Vargas batting .216 for the season. Here comes the pitch. Woo! Ooh, right in the top of the zone, 95 miles an hour. Strike one. The count is even. Ugh. My coffee is basically ready. I need to take the coffee bag out of the water there. Okay, here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, 98 mile per hour fastball fouled off by Vargas. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just a little high, 97 mile per hour fastball. The count is even, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Nope, Brown goes to first instead. Runner's back. The camera tracker is having a little trouble with my eyes because I'm wearing glasses right now. Here's the pitch. That's hit up the middle. That's going to be another hit. Runner advances to second. Mydroth is going to continue. A little bit of a bobble in center field. Runner's going to continue to third base. The runner's on the corners with no outs. Jake Myers makes an uncharacteristic bobble in center field. Not sure exactly what was going on there, but take a look at this. Should have been runners on first and second, but just a slight hesitation and bobble by Myers allowed the runner to get to third. Another unfortunate event. No outs, runners on the corners. Benintendi is at the plate. He fouls this one off. Strike one. Two hits for the White Sox off of Hunter Brown already. One error now for the Astros, thanks to that mishandle by Jake Myers. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Little check swing, and they say he did not go. 1 ball, 1 strike. Collins says needing 6 Ks from Brown today. Well, he should be able to get that, but he's going to have to start pitching a little better than what he's doing right now. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the top of the zone. This might be the first strikeout for you right here, Cullen. One and 2 is the count. 10 pitches for Brown. Here comes the 11th. That one's in there and fouled off. 98 mile per hour fastball. Coffee is not too bad. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Way inside. But he was hugging the plate. That was really actually pretty close to being a strike. He was just hugging the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Benintendi. Here comes the pitch from Hunter Brown. And it's hit into the left field. It's going to be down for a hit. It's going to score a run. Runners to second and first. 1-0 Chicago on that opposite field hit. Hunter Brown has now given up 3 hits and 1 run in the first inning. No outs, 3 hits. Where the Astros couldn't get it done in the first, the White Sox are. Luis Robert Jr. comes to the plate, batting 189 for the season. Runners on first and second with no outs, and that one pitches way high for ball 1. Cullen says, how long have you been doing play-by-plays? Cullen, I started basically last summer during the break. During the off season, I didn't really do anything with my channel, and I came back swinging a foul ball, strike one. So not really a long time. I mean, if you look at all the videos that I have, it looks like a lot, but most all of my videos are from summer of last year. Here comes a 1-1 pitch from Brown, right in there, 95 miles an hour, strike two. 1-2 is the count. Brown looking for his first out and first strikeout. But anyway, Cullen, I'm definitely an amateur at it. I've only done just a little bit last year during the summer and the end of the season. And then now a few games this year. Foul ball there. Scooped up by Paredes, over by third. Count remains 1-2. Let's go Astros, says Excalibur Force. Absolutely. Dallas Stars? Okay. Not into the Stars, but alright. Polish Ninja says, gotta be kidding me. Julian Astros, wake up. Yeah, they need to wake up. Finally, Hunter Brown gets an out and a strikeout. Punch out there with a sinker. 97 mile per hour sinker. Should be able to show you a replay. There it is. Well, a little late. Sorry about that. But yeah, swing and a miss. A nice whiff for Brown. Cullen, that's 1 of 6 for you, right? That brings up Palacio. Joshua Palacio. He fouls the first pitch down the first baseline. Strike one. Batting 195 for the season. Croker, welcome back. Checking in from Aberdeen. Man, I'd love to visit Aberdeen. Lots of places in the world I'd like to visit. Colin says, you're doing a great job, man. Keep them coming, Brown. Thank you. I appreciate that. 1 ball, 1 strike to Palacios. Here comes the pitch from Brown. Runners on first and second with 1 out. That's a strike. Beautiful pitch. Knuckle curve by Brown. Haven't seen many of those yet this game, but it's a regular pitch for Brown when he's not throwing that fastball, that sinker. Here comes a 1-2 pitch to Palacios. Ground ball to the right side, picked up by Walker. He's going to step on the bag for out number 2, but the runners will advance to second and third. So we now have 2 away. Easy little play by Christian Walker. Walker couldn't get it done with the bat, but he gets it done with the defense. No surprise there. That's been pretty normal for Walker this season. Andrew Vaughn comes to the plate. Batting 162 for the season. Takes that first pitch, the knuckle curve, up and out of the zone for ball 1. Here comes the next pitch from Brown. This one's hit into center field, and that's going to score another run. That's down for a hit. Myers throws it in, but it's no use. That's 2 runs scored. Myers can't bring the ball in fast enough. It's going to mean 2 runs for the White Sox. 3-0. With runner on first after that single. That's a great start to this game, right? Nothing kills my live stream better than the Astros giving up a lot of runs early in the game. I'll tell you that. People just don't want to watch. Strike 1 to Matt Dice. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs, runner on first. Hunter Brown with 3 earned runs already. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off at the plate for strike 2. Another knuckle curve. So the Astros, their minimal number of runs that they need to score is always typically 4. 4 is the average number of runs that a team must score in the MLB to have a decent chance of winning the game. So now they need at least 4 to win the game for sure, 100% for sure. That ball's outside, 99 miles an hour, but it was way off the mark. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bring a sweater. It looks like it's becoming a trend for this year. Astros play awful to bad teams and good against good teams. Yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it? 98 miles an hour, a little up out of the zone. The count is even, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Theis. Swing and a miss. Hunter Brown gets himself another strikeout and out number 3, but not before giving up 3 freaking runs. Thanks a lot, Mr. Brown. Sometimes they make the joke, the UPS joke, what can Brown do for you? Not that. Not that. Anything but that. Anything but giving up runs and injuries. Don't do that. Don't get injured. Don't give up runs. Anything else is pretty much okay. Come out there. I don't care how many hits you give up, how many walks. Just don't give up any runs. 2 strikeouts for Hunter Brown that inning. Sounds great. Wow, 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Well, he gave up 3 runs. 4 hits to the White Sox in the very first inning. The Astros determined to just get beat by a team that they should sweep. I remember the Astros getting manhandled by the Royals last year. Talk about a joke. That was difficult to deal with. Teams that they were projected to easily sweep and then getting destroyed by them. Not good. That'll not do, pig. That'll not do. Who have the Astros got coming up to the plate now? Yainer Diaz, who managed to get his batting average over 200, guys. Let's give him a round of applause. Good for you, Diaz. He's now batting 208. Pinch hitting in the number 6 slot is Victor Caratini. Caratini, the Batman himself. He's not behind the plate today. Diaz is catching. Yordan Alvarez has the day off. Zach DeCenzo is in the hole, batting 7th. Following him is Brendan Rodgers, who's at second base today, and Jake Myers in center field. Here's the first pitch to Diaz, right in there, 88 miles an hour on that pitch. Strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Martin. Bounced foul down the third base line into the dugout. 0-2 is the count. O2 pitch to Diaz on the way. Just a little high and outside. Ball 1. 1-2. Here comes the next pitch. Low and outside. Ball 2. The count's even. Comes the 2-2 pitch. Well, nothing doing there. Ball 3. Full count on Yainer. So after an 0-2 count, Yainer takes. And now the count is full. He hits this one up the middle. Is that going to be down for a hit? Yes, it is. Excellent. Yiner with a single to center field on a 3-2 count. Good job there. The center fielder charged in. It looked like he was going to try to make a play on it, but he wasn't able to do it ultimately. And now Yiner's on first base. Take a look at this. Boom. Right in the lower part of the zone, right there. Good hit by Yiner. We have ourselves another leadoff batter with a single. Good stuff right there. Good job, Yiner. Proud of you, man. You're getting better and getting better. And the Batman comes to the plate. Victor Caratini, the Batman. He fouls the first pitch off into the dugout on the right side. Strike one. Let's see if Caratini can do something here. He's batting .250 for the year. Not impressive. Highly mediocre. Just on that outside edge. Strike two. Man, that was close. I used to teach English in China years ago, and one of my students one day said he was doing very so-so. Ripped hard to right field, but foul. Man, that was a rip. Count remains 0-2. Yeah, my student came in and I said, "Hey, how are you today?" And he said, "I am very so-so." And I said, you know what? I like that expression. Here's the pitch to Caratini, way outside, ball one. 2-1. I'm sorry, 1-2. I had it backwards. So Caratini's batting average right now is a very solid, very so-so at .250. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Caratini. Fouled back. He hangs in there on that 89-mile-per-hour cutter. Count remains 1-2. A little windy, it looks like, in Chicago today. 1-2 pitch on the way. A little low. Good take by Caratini. That evens the count 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Little outside, another good take. So both Caratini and Yiner working the count up to full. Good job. Martin steps off the rubber for a moment. Now he's back on. He gets the call he wants. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, or the full count pitch rather. Fouled up by Caratini and out of play. Count remains 3-2. Man, my avatar goes a little kind of crazy whenever I drink my coffee. It also has a hard time tracking my eyes with my glasses on. Here's the pitch to Caratini, and he hits that one really high. Looks like it's going to be playable by the shortstop, and it is. Out number one. Diaz remains at first base. Zach DeCenzo comes to the plate, also batting .250 for the season. Cam Smith is not in the game today. DeCenzo is in right field. First pitch to him is on the way. He goes after the first pitch and hits it out to center field directly to the center fielder, who puts it away for out number two. Nice solid strike by DeCenzo, but right to a player. In Japanese, you could say "warui desu." Just means that's bad. It's bad. Warui. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate. He had a big drop off on his batting average. He's down to .224. Man, he had some really hot games early on in the season, and his average went up way up to almost 400. Now he's all the way down to .224. Here's the first pitch. That's in there for strike one. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. I see that I have 8 likes on the live stream and 8 people watching. That's excellent. Thank you so much for liking the video. That would be a ball to Brendan Rodgers. The count is even, 1-1 with 2 outs. Yiner camped out on first base waiting for something to happen. Here's the pitch from Martin. Rodgers takes that one right down the middle. 86 miles an hour slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. How do you take that one, man? Here's the next pitch. A little low and outside. Ball 2. Count is even. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one's a little low. Ball 3, another full count. So the Astros getting the full counts. Working the count. Making Davis Martin really work. He's thrown how many pitches? 34? 36? 37. Holy cow, he's thrown 37 pitches in just a couple of innings. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. That was ball 4. It was outside. Rodgers couldn't hold up. He decides to go after it, and that's it for the Astros in the second inning. Man, this MLB video player needs to make up its mind. In between innings, when they're showing these ridiculous commercials, I mute the audio because I don't want to hear that blaring in my ear. But for some reason, the MLB video player, the video changes, like the layout of the video itself, the video player changes from when the game goes to break and the commercials, the controls change location just slightly. They change back and forth. I think it's deliberate because if you don't click that mute button or click one of the buttons before the commercial starts, the location changes, and if you don't click it in time, it causes you to click the ad and it opens up an ad in a new window. You can't tell me that that's not on purpose. So it's a little annoying thing. But it's all good. I've got to figure it out. But I will say I'm very happy about the avatar that I got that's on screen that you guys see. For those of you who know Naruto, you can kind of see the design of the character is pretty neat. Like the headband that he's wearing with the Astros logo on it. In the anime, there's like a leaf symbol on his headband, and that leaf symbol represents the village he's from, called the Hidden Leaf Village of Konoha. But I had that changed to the Houston Astros logo. And then, of course, on the shirt, I was able to get him to put my channel logo, the Astros logo. So it's pretty cool. And the interesting thing is that Naruto's regular colors are actually kind of like the navy blue and orange that match the Astros. So his colors are the same, actually. But I wanted his shirt to be made in a more baseball style. So the guy that did this for me, he's definitely not here watching the video right now, but I'd like to say thank you to him for making such a cool avatar. I tried to make something like this myself, but it was just outside of my skill range. The cool thing is that this avatar has the ability to mimic my hand motions and arms and all of that, but I need to get the right equipment, and right now I don't have the money for that. But it'd be nice to add that in the future. That way when I move my arms around and stuff, you can see him move his arms around. But right now it's just my body, my face, and my eyes, my mouth. But it's good enough for now, I think. It's good enough for now. Let's see here. Let's get back to this game. Oh, no. I missed the first 2 pitches to the first batter, Lenyn Sosa. It's 0-2 right now. I apologize for that. I didn't realize that the game had started already. 0-2. But I like to see that. 0-2. Here comes the next pitch from Brown. Ooh, low. Just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Croker says, I miss the crew of professional hitters the Astros used to have. Amen to that, man. Well, that one's bounced to third to Christian Walker, who makes the long throw to first base, and they say he's safe at first base. Man, that looks like it was foul. But Isaac Paredes, I'm sorry, I think I said Walker. Isaac Paredes gets the ball. Look at this play. It looked like it was foul. And Paredes, wow, he looks out. Houston is going to challenge the call because they say he was safe at first base. But I think this was a double error on the umpires, guys. If they show it again, I'm going to show it to you. Isaac Paredes was over at third base. The bouncer right down the line. The umpire said it was fair. It looked foul. And then he makes the long throw to first base. Here it comes. This is the throw to first. Yeah, he was out. He's definitely out at first base. Paredes makes a freaking amazing play. He could have just caught the ball and thought it was foul because it was. That ball was really foul. But he didn't assume that it was going to be called foul, and he just grabbed it and threw it to first. The call is overturned. The runner is out. Awesome. Isaac Paredes with a golden glove play, an amazing throw. Man, give that guy a raise on the defense anyway. Well, I guess he's making more than enough money to be playing defense like that. The next batter is Brooks Baldwin. He takes that pitch a little outside for ball 1. Man, what a phenomenal play there by Isaac Paredes. 1 away. 1 ball, no strikes to Baldwin. Here comes the pitch from Brown in the bottom of the zone for strike 1? Or do they call it a ball? They called it a ball. That was in the zone. Umpire's confusing me. Umpire's getting it wrong, guys. 2-0. Here comes the pitch. That one's definitely low. Ball 3. 3-0. 3-0. Brooks Baldwin batting lefty. 242 for the season. Takes that one in the top of the zone for strike 1. Looks like he had no intention of swinging. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Brown. Low and outside, ball 4. 5-pitch walk. White Sox have another base runner. Yeah, Croker says these new guys chase too much. Absolutely. You know, as much as, I mean, Pena has done a lot better recently, and I'm really happy about that. But man, last year to this year, I'm like, ugh. He was always chasing these bad pitches. Yainer Diaz is the same. Next batter is Chase Mydruth. He takes that first pitch for strike 1. Also, you know, some of the other players, Jake Myers. Mydruth grounds it to Pena, flip to Brendan Rodgers over to first base. They get the double play, and that's it. Woohoo! All right, Mydruth grounds into a double play, and that's it for this inning. Thank goodness. No runs scored. 3-0. Astros are down. But with that double play, Hunter Brown gets out of the inning. We go into the top of the third, guys. 4 hits for the White Sox. 2 hits for the Astros. But yeah, Croker, like what you were saying, if I go and I look at the Astros lineup, for example, Pena, Altuve, these both, of course, are chasers. They chase. You know, Altuve swings at everything. He can swing at everything. And Walker has been really patient, but he's just got too many strikeouts. He's just not doing well. He's not playing like he normally does. Normally he's better. For those of you who don't know this, there's a lot of narrative going around. Oh, Walker's a slow starter. No, he's not. Go back and look at all of his stats. That's not true at all. He's not doing well compared to himself historically. Yainer Diaz, also a chaser. Caratini, nah, I wouldn't say that Caratini is too much of a chaser. A little bit, sometimes. DeCenzo, yes. Rogers, yes. Myers, yes. So in the Astros lineup, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.5 of the batters in the Astros lineup right now are chasing the ball, like you say, Croker. And that's not a good lineup of guys to have when they're chasing the ball. Here comes the first pitch to Jake Myers, who muscles it out into left field. Is that going to be gone? Holy cow, first home run of the year for Jake Myers. I was so shocked by that very first pitch, I almost couldn't call it. Jake Myers comes to the plate, the very first pitch from Martin. One of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen by Jake Myers. I kid you not. 3-1. The Astros are on the board with one pitch and one swing from Jake Myers, celebrating in the dugout there. He couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier for him. Holy freaking cow. I didn't expect that. Pena comes to the plate. That was a little off the plate. Ball 1. This is a little pop to the first base side. A very weak pop out for Jeremy Pena. Man, that was a terrible out. Let's take a look at this home run by Jake Myers. Just right in the middle, and boom, he launched on it. Look at that. Ripped out into left field. Man, whew. My hero, Jose Altuve, comes to the plate. First pitch to Altuve on the way in just a moment. Here it comes. A little outside. What? They called that a ball? It was 2 inches off the plate. 2 inches off the plate, but they call it a strike. 0-1 to Altuve. No love from the umpire there. 0-1. Altuve calls a timeout and steps out of the box to take a little break. Altuve did ground into a fielder's choice earlier. He was safe at first, but he grounds that one foul down the third base line for strike 2. Man, nuts. Pam, thank you. Yes, I'm glad to see you. Recovering from surgery. I'm so happy to hear that. How did it go? Let's go Stros for sure. Way outside. Ball 1, 1-2 to Altuve. Really happy to see you back, Pam. I saw your message. I don't know if you heard me before, but I saw your message about surgery. Altuve goes up the middle with a nice grounder. He's going to have himself a hit. We have ourselves a one-out base runner. Right up the middle. Nice hit on that change-up for Altuve. 1 for 2 today. And that brings up Isak the ball. Paredes, he grounded out actually into a double play in the first inning, causing a disappointing first inning. But yeah, Pam, I meant to tell you that I saw your message in the chat when you said you were going to go have surgery, but I didn't see it until later, so I apologize for that. But I did see it, and I wished you well in the next game when I remembered to do that. 1 ball and no strikes to Paredes. Here comes the next pitch. But yeah, I've had surgery a couple of times, major surgery myself, and I know that it's no fun. 89-mile-per-hour cutter in there for strike 1. And the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner on first. Lots of ones there. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Paredes. Fouled off into the stands for strike 2. Pam says, went well, just need 2 weeks to recover and I should be okay. Well, that's not a big deal. 2 weeks is nothing. You can do that. You can definitely do that. But yes, I'm very glad to have you back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Paredes had taken a little breather. Now he's back in the box. 49th pitch of the game on the way. Here's a delivery way upstairs. 94 and out of the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I hope Altuve doesn't try to steal again. His last 2 attempts, he's been thrown out. I just want him to stay on base. Paredes is up the middle. Is it going to drop? Yes, it is. Heck yes. Altuve is going to try to go for 3 to third. He's able to get there. Holy cow. Great heads-up play by Altuve there. That was a very, very weak hit single to the outfield by Paredes. And Altuve just kept trucking. Take a look at this. Right up the middle. Altuve kept going. The throw came in, but just off. And Altuve was able to make it in there, and he just took a little relaxing break at third base, it looked like. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Walker comes to the plate, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. So Astros again with another opportunity to score some runs. Myers thankfully puts them on the board with a solo shot. Now Walker with an opportunity to drive in a run. He hits this one high and away out into the crowd on the first base side. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners in the corners. Runners on the corners. Heart surgery is rough at any age. I absolutely agree. It's sometimes, even a routine surgery, it can cause trouble. Surgeries, any kind of surgery is no joke. It takes time to heal, and you got to be careful. That's fouled off for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. My first surgery was to save my life, and then a couple of years later I had to have surgery to correct a couple of surgical hernias. Both surgeries were major and took a long time to recover from. And in some ways, I never recovered. I have a massive scar from basically my chest all the way down to my lower abdomen. And still have some internal damage, but I can live with it. Fouled off again, 88 miles an hour. Count remains 1-2 on Walker. Let's see here. Walker is back in the box now after a short little siesta. Martin comes set. Here's the pitch. Way outside. Ball 2. Count is even. Two balls, 2 strikes to Walker with 1 out, runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Chop towards third. It looks like they're going to try for 2, and they get it. So, unfortunately, no extra run for the Astros. Walker grounds into another double play. That's 2 double plays, 1 courtesy of Isaac Paredes and 1 courtesy of Christian Walker to just totally destroy the Astros' opportunity to score. The first inning, they had something good going with 2 runners on and no outs. Didn't get a single run from it. This inning, they get runners on and they score nothing from it. The only reason they have a run on the board at all is because of Jake Myers' solo home run. They strand runners again. That has become basically the Astros' MO over the past couple of years. Just strand runners. Philip Castillo, welcome back. Philip, good to see you here. Let's go Astros. Pam says, this was to save my life. I had made my wheel just in case it went the other way. Yeah, I am really glad to hear that it went well, because even though you didn't give too much detail, you, like you said, surgery is a big deal, even little surgeries. But because I didn't know the detail, all I could do was just wish you well and believe that everything was going to be all right and that I was going to see you again back in the chat. And here you are. So now I wish you nothing but a good, strong recovery. I recently lost my health insurance. So the cellular medication, it's like an inhibitor. Is it called a TKI? Is that what it's called? I'm not quite sure, but it's a cellular inhibitor medication for cancer. And I've been taking that now for the last year to try to at the very least keep the cancer from advancing, but hopefully to shrink it. But recently, because of my visa change, the government here revoked my insurance, so now I have to stop. I've been tapering off of my medication, so I can't afford medication anymore. Whoa, line drive shot, one bouncer, backhanded by Isaac Paredes, who makes another amazing catch and fire to first base for the out. Let's take a look at that. Look at that. Man, Paredes just making it look easy, isn't he? He is just scooping it up. I couldn't be happier with Paredes over on third base. I dare to say he's better than Bregman. Strike one to Andrew Benintendi. Here comes the next pitch. Grounded foul down the first baseline, 0-2. Hunter Brown jumps out to a nice lead in the count. Astros down 3-1, but they have more hits, just like yesterday. Leading in hits, but trailing in score. That's because they just leave guys on base left and right. Hitting the ball all day long, just not at the right times. The most important times. Brown throws that next pitch a little low, a couple inches below the zone for ball 1-2. Pam says, I'm sorry to hear about that. I appreciate it. I just look at this as, my path. Benintendi hits that one into center field all the way out to the wall, but Myers hauls it in. Woo, man, that was a nice hit all the way out to the warning track right by the wall, but Myers is able to catch it and put it away for out number 2. We can take a look at it. That was a nice drive by Benintendi, but the park just big enough to contain it. That brings up Louis Robert Jr. That first pitch, 97 mile per hour delivery. A little low and inside. Ball 1. Let's see if Hunter Brown can get that third out here. After that first inning struggle, maybe he can calm down and have a solid game. Here's the next pitch. He's up to 48 pitches now. Low and outside, ball 2. I had a meeting with my hospital counselor just a couple of days ago, Pam, and I basically told her, you know what? I don't want to struggle and fight and scrape and claw just to keep insurance in this expensive medicine. Swing and a miss by Louis Robert Jr. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't believe anymore in trying so hard to do anything. There's a difference between working hard in something you believe in, is right, and then just trying to force the issue, make something happen. That's a swing and a foul ball. 2-2, 50 pitches now for Brown. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Hunter Brown gets another strikeout. Excellent. We'll go into the top of the 4th. That was strange. Hunter Brown looked confused there. He was like, "Is that 3 outs, right?" He seemed to be getting fooled by his teammates there, but it's all good. Top of the fourth, Astros down 3-1. Let's see if they can get something going. Yainer Diaz is due up. He's 1-for-1 today, followed by the Batman Victor Caratini and Zach DeCenzo. Caratini and DeCenzo 0-for-1 each today. Pena, Altuve, Paredes, Diaz, and Myers each with a hit today. 5 Astros with a hit, but only 1 run, and that's Myers' strike to left field, his solo shot. Yep, I guess you could say I'm just not a believer anymore of working my butt off to do anything. And some people say, well, that's lazy, but that I don't, like I said, I don't think it's about, like, if you're doing what you love to do and you're working hard in that and you're focused in that, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what we call forcing the issue, trying to force something to happen or make something happen. And there are many examples of that in life. For example, like if there's a person that you really like and you work really hard to impress them, you give a girl some flowers, and you're always messaging her and asking her how she's doing. Every morning it's good morning, and every night it's, have a good night. But she's not really showing any interest in you, but you keep trying to pour it on and pour it on and pour it on. That's trying too hard. Yainer Diaz goes right up the middle. Holy cow, in the very first pitch. Again, this inning, the Astros with that first pitch. What is going on? Myers with the first pitch last inning in the solo home run. And Diaz here with the first pitch single right up the middle. So we have a no out base runner. Me likey. Victor Caratini comes to the plate. Yainer at first. But anyway, Pam and everyone else, the health insurance and medicine thing is kind of like what it's, to me, it's the same as trying to win over some girl who's not showing interest, It's unnecessary. I don't have to try. The right person for me is out there. She'll come to me. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Caratini. Strike 2. He takes 2 straight strikes. That one a 77-mile-per-hour curveball. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Check swing, and it didn't matter. It's strike 3. 3 straight pitches, and the Batman goes down like Robin. Zach DeCenzo comes to the plate. 0-for-1 so far today. 6 hits for the Astros, 1 run on the board. DeCenzo flew out his last at bat. Here comes the pitch. Little low and outside, just barely missed, ball 1. Pam says, surprised that you don't have more options for health care over there. Well, I am too, honestly. But, things have changed. Their focus here is taking care of all of their old people. And I kid you not, there is a lot of focus and money being poured into taking care of the old people here, and they vote for it too. They only vote for the people who are going to take care of them. The majority of the voters are those old people, man, and they don't change. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in there. 88 miles an hour. Counts even 1-1. There is one organization here who can help me bring in a generic version of that medicine. So if I really want to keep taking it, it's possible. But once again, I'm not fighting really hard to do that. Fouled off by DeCenzo. Strike 2. If things just easily work out and it moves that direction, I'll go that direction. But honestly, the medicine's effectiveness was kind of wearing off anyway. Swing and a miss by DeCenzo on a big cutter Out number 2. Diaz once again camped out on first base waiting for something to happen. Jose Altuve, white and pink throwback jersey. Man, that's cool. They've always got cool stuff they're giving out at the stadium. Brendan Rodgers takes the first pitch into left field. Wow. 7 hits now for the Astros. 7 hits in 4 innings. Take a look at this. Very first pitch again. Right into left field. Runners on first and second. We've got a couple more guys to strand. Who's going to be the one to do it? It looks like Jake Myers. Our guy who's 1 for 1 today with a single swing home run. He goes after the first one again, but this time not a home run. That would be strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Myers. He swings again and misses. Is he trying the home run cut again? 0-2. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Man, a 3-run homer, a back-to-back home run by Myers. Can you imagine? His second home run of the year is a back-to-back home run. That'd be nuts. Here comes the pitch. He swings at this one, a little half swing, and he fouls it off. Count remains 0-2. Caesar says, love your view on life. Well, it's one that I've adopted because I believe it's true. If you guys are familiar with like people similar to Neville Goddard and William Blake. Fouled off again by Myers into the right field stands. The count remains 0-2. Yeah, but if you look up William Blake, Neville Goddard, and the way that they taught and believed about life, that's what I'm following. And that's why I don't necessarily believe that I need medicine. I think everything comes from the inside out. That pitch is way outside, low and in the dirt. 1-2 to Jake Myers. One ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to Myers. Nope. Blake goes to second. Whoo! They almost picked Diaz off at second base, but he's back just in time. They're taking a look to see if they want to challenge it, and they don't. Look how close this was. That was close. Diaz almost got caught. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Myers. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off again. Myers staying alive. Croker says if you need to come stateside for cancer treatments, Houston, Chicago, and Pittsburgh lead the way with their medical centers. Yep, but can't afford it. Can't afford to come get any treatment there. Got no options for coverage. I haven't been in the U.S. in over 12 years. I mean, as far as living there, haven't lived there in over 12 years. Don't have any type of coverage or way to support myself or take care of myself. Don't have any family to depend on. Literally alone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to Myers. Low and outside, full count. I know that most people won't support what I'm doing right now, but essentially I'm doing I've switched to a keto diet, no sugar. Fouled off at the plate again by Myers. Count remains 3-2. Hanging in there. That was a 90-mile-per-hour changeup. Myers fighting really hard. 75 pitches now for Martin in just 4 innings. He's still not done. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Is that going to get down? Out in the right center field, all the way to the wall. Jake Myers. Game-tying double for Jake Myers. I know he's going to go for 3. Is he going to get there? Yes, he is. Can you believe it? Jake Myers with a home run and then a triple. All 3 runs on the board, courtesy of Mr. Baseball, Jake Myers himself. Holy freaking cow, guys. Look at this. Myers comes through looking like a pro. The solo home run on the very first pitch. The full count triple all the way out there. Look at that, man. Is Myers going to go for the cycle today? Man. This game is tied 3-3 on the bat of Jake Myers. 3 runs, 3 RBIs for Jake Myers today. Amazing. 8 hits now for the Astros today. I am really, really glad to see that. Short little meeting on the mound with the pitching coach. Now he goes back. Top of the order is up for the Astros. Jeremy Pena is up with 2 outs. Myers on third. An opportunity for the Astros to take the lead here. Here comes the first pitch to Pena. Low and outside. They fake a throw to Myers at third. 1-0. Jake the Snake is the player of the game. He is so far, that's for sure. He's even this game up. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Pena. Pena takes that one a little outside, but the umpire liked it. Strike 1. It was about an inch outside the zone. Man. Jake Myers, holy cow, batting .279 now. He's brought his average back up with those 2 hits. I'm liking it. Christian Walker right now, the only guy batting below 200 in the Astros lineup, but even just barely, 195. Here's the pitch to Pena. Pena goes up the middle, and that's going to be caught for out number 3, and it is. But Myers, with just 2 swings of his bat, have given the Astros another chance in this game. 3 RBIs, a solo home run, and a 2-run triple. Man, I am amazed. Absolutely amazed. We go into the bottom of the 4th. This game tied. 8 hits for the Astros and 1 error. 4 hits for the White Sox. No errors. 3-3. Or as some people say, 3-'em 3. 3-'em 3. Do you guys know anyone who says that? Do you say that? 3-'em 3? You know, Croker, I will say this. There was a point where I was thinking, maybe I would have to go back to the U.S. at least for a little while, because I still want to have Japan as my home base. I own a house here. I own a car here. I enjoy life here. But at one point I was even thinking, if I devote a lot of my time to doing my Astros channel and I need some extra care and support, maybe I could go to Houston and then, whenever possible, actually attend the games. And these kind of ideas floated around in my head, but the money and the logistics of it and the lack of family support, all of those things together, once again, I would have to fight to try to make that happen. And I have neither the desire nor the will to make that happen. And I have the wisdom not to make that happen, to work so hard and do so much to turn my life upside down at just something that's I'm not even sure will be the right thing. And that's the thing. To me, it has to be clear. My gut instinct, when I listen to my gut instinct, it never steers me wrong. And my gut just wasn't pulling me that way, so I didn't do it. Hunter Brown is back on the mound. He is facing Joshua Palacios. The first pitch is a ball. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch on the outside edge. 95 mile per hour fastball. The count is even. 1-1. Palacios grounded out his last at bat. Here comes the next delivery from Brown. High. Way high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Man, got a dozen people watching, but 15 likes. That's the kind of ratio I like to see. More likes than views, or more likes than viewers. 3 balls and 1 strike now from Hunter Brown, falling behind in the count to Palacios. Here comes the next pitch in the dirt and bounces away. Palacios quickly runs to first base, but Diaz is able to grab the ball. So the White Sox have a leadoff runner on first. They finally tie the game up, and Brown walks a guy. Come on now, calm down. Simmer down now. Simmer down now. Next batter is Andrew Vaughn. Strike 1. If you guys are wondering why would I say Andrew, it's because of me getting used to reading Japanese. The A is not, it's never ah, it's always ah. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. A little high. And by a little high, that's like 1.5 feet. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Dice is on deck. Here comes a pitch from Brown. Ooh, just a little too far inside and low on that pitch. Nice looking sinker. 2-1 is the count. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Another knuckle curve in the dirt. Diaz keeps it in front of him, but that's ball 3. Runner stays at first base. I am moving. I will be broadcasting my games very soon from my old house in the countryside, the old house that I bought. I have a Starlink internet system now. Next pitch by Brown is hit high in the air over on the first base side. Walker is underneath it, and he puts it away for out number 1. Vaughn goes down with that foul out. Matt Dice comes to the plate. Hunter Brown's got the call that he wants. Here comes the pitch. Nope, he goes to first instead. Runner's back. Here comes the... Nope. I thought we were about to have a pitch. Batter calls a timeout. Hunter Brown takes a little break, kicks the dirt around. Now he's looking for the call. He's got what he wants. And here comes the pitch. First pitch swinging out to center field. Myers is underneath it. Looks like he's got that one. No problem. Out number 2. Yeah, Hunter Brown's strikeout percentage normally is higher than what it is today. I know that one of the guys in the chat, Cullen, I think he was looking for 6 strikeouts today. Hunter Brown doesn't have too many so far. Speaking of strikes, there's one. Lennon Sosa is at the plate. He grounded out earlier today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Way high, ball 1, the count is even. Man, just 4 more likes and I will be at my big goal for the day. Get to 20 for every live stream right now. That's my main goal. Woo! Swing and a miss there. 96 mile per hour high fastball. 1-2. Hunter Brown 1 strike away from getting another whiff. I managed to get 32 likes on my live stream yesterday. I'm really happy about that. I was not expecting to get there because 20 is like my dream goal for my live streams right now, just because of viewer count. But yesterday went pretty well. Maybe today will turn out the same. Just a few more, I'm already at 20. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Hunter Brown after a long delay. Swing and a miss. Hunter Brown gets the strikeouts. There's another punch out for Hunter Brown. We're going to the top of the fifth. The Astros will be back up in just a moment to attempt to take the lead in this game. Astros with a ton of hits in this game so far, just not as many timely hits. If not for Jake Myers, the Astros wouldn't have any runs on the board at all. He's got all 3 of their RBIs. 8 hits for the Astros in just 4 innings. At this rate, they could have 20 hits by the end of the game. Can you imagine if the Astros had 20 hits and only 3 runs in the game? I can imagine it because I think they've done it before. Just keep hitting the ball and putting the runners on base but not driving them in. And that is what the squirrel calls nuts. Absolutely nuts. Who is due up for the Astros? It has not updated on the screen yet. But I think it might be Altuve, actually. Yeah, I believe it is, because Pena was up at the plate with Myers on third base. And he got out. So Altuve should be leading off here in the top of the fifth, followed by Paredes and Walker. Altuve is 1 for 2 today with a fielder's choice and a single. Paredes is also 1 for 2 today. Astros have 4 strikeouts today. That's not bad. 4 strikeouts in 4 innings. That's okay. My hero is indeed at the plate. I had a little drama. I ordered a Jose Altuve Space City 1.0 uniform or jersey with Altuve's name and number on it. Came over from China. Ball 1, that was in the dirt to Altuve, 1-0. But I was out of town at the time visiting a friend. And they would not leave it at the door even though I asked them to do it. Too far inside. Good take by Altuve, 2-0. But they sent it back to China. And they told me that they were going to charge me for it. But I was like, no, I don't think so. So I requested a refund through Amazon, and I got it. But unfortunately, I don't have the jersey. Strike 1, low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Altuve. Here comes the pitch. That one's grounded down the third baseline, foul. The count is now even 2-2. So the Altuve jersey that I was looking forward to getting, I don't have. But I'll try again later. Here comes the pitch. Altuve goes after an absolutely terrible pitch and strikes out. Talk about chasing. We were just talking about that earlier. And Altuve looks like a total amateur there. What a terrible pitch to be swinging at. I kind of wanted to see the replay because it looked so bad I wanted to show you guys, but kind of happy they didn't. It looks really bad. Paredes comes to the plate with 1 out. Here's the first pitch to him in the dirt and outside. Ball 1. "85 pitches now for Davis Martin. Here's his 86th low. Ball 2. Here comes the pitch. This one's hit hard to left field. Line drive caught by the third baseman, though. Nice strike by Paredes, but just right at the third baseman. Out number 2. Goodness gracious me. Christian Walker comes to the plate. He hits this one really hard out to right field, all the way out to the wall, just shy of the warning track. And unfortunately, that'll be out number 3. He gave it a ride, but he needed a little bit more beef to get it over the wall. Unfortunately, out number 3. That's it for the Astros in the top of the 5th. We go into the bottom of the 5th. Game tied up 3-3. Let's see here. All right. Had a message from somebody important. Had to quickly respond to that, and now I'm all good. They are showing some commercials on the MLB network talking about food. Interesting. Croker says the best thing about Jose always chasing is that the box is considerably smaller than most others in the league. It makes it a 50-50 prospect for him in the most part. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I get it. And honestly, I have mixed feelings about it because on one hand, it's like Altuve can hit almost anything that's thrown. And there's a lot of truth in that. And sometimes it really works out because he's so unpredictable. And a lot of pitchers don't like pitching to him because they're like, crap, what can I throw? I just kind of have to get lucky. It's like the 50-50 thing, It's like, well, is Altuve going to come up and win the game? 50-50. It's like a 50-50 chance to a pitcher. So there's that good aspect of it. But the bad aspect is like what just happened. Hunter Brown is back on the mound. The first pitch to Brooks Baldwin is a little high and outside for ball 1. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off, 94 miles per hour in the upper part of the zone. The count is even, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off again. That one was about an inch above the zone. Couple of those high sinkers, or sliders rather. Getting Baldwin to swing. Might be another strikeout for Brown here if he can poke a pitch in there that Baldwin can't get the bat on. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Brown. Swing and a miss, and Brown does get the strikeout. How do you like that? 1 away. Here's the next pitch. The first one to Meidroth. Low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Meidroth. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, right in the inside edge there. 96 miles an hour. Beautiful pitch by Brown. Gets the call. 1-1. Croker says, as a former D1 catcher, I hated guys like Altuve. They're so hard to game against because they either sit on a fastball or take everything because of that box size. Yeah, man, he's got a small hit box, right? That ball's hit out to the first base side, and Walker runs out there and catches it over his shoulder for out number 2. Nice little play for Walker. 2 away on that pop out, that foul out by Midroth. I think I can update the information on my screen there. There we go. I can imagine that a guy like that would be really annoying, Croker. I mean, he is annoying, and I think that's a big part of the reason why the crowds continue to boo him, despite him not having done anything wrong, because he's that type of player. You have to respect it, but he really annoys a lot of other teams' fans because of the way he plays the game. 1 ball, 1 strike with that delivery from Hunter Brown, 96 mile per hour strike on the outside edge. Here comes the next pitch. A little high, just barely missed strike 2. 96 mile per hour fastball, 2-1. I'm looking forward to having a nice protein breakfast this morning. I'm going to cook myself some extra bacon and eggs to go with it. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled away, 91 mile per hour slider. The count's 2-2. I am going to go to the cafe. The cafe breakfast here is so affordable. It's less than $5. So there's not a whole lot of reason for me to be buying and cooking food here, especially since I'm in the process of moving. I don't want to have a lot of extra stuff to clean and to do. So I'm just going to the cafe to have breakfast. Here's the pitch, the 2-2. Just a little high. We have ourselves a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hunter Brown has nobody on base. An opportunity here for another strikeout. Let's see if he's able to pull it off. Let's take a look at it live. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, just barely low. He misses by just an inch maybe. 2-out walk. Brown shaking his head, very disappointed with that pitch. 79 pitches now for Brown. He was going to get out of this inning before getting to 80, but with that one, it's not happening. So after a really rough start, Brown has been pretty solid. Through 3 2/3 innings, actually, Brown has been good. Little meeting on the mound between Hunter Brown and Yiner, and now Yiner wanders back to the plate. Andrew Benintendi comes to the plate. Runner on first, 2 outs. Here's the first pitch from Brown. Nice knuckle curve on that outside edge. Could have gone either way. Strike 1. And that's 80 pitches for Hunter Brown. Here comes the next one. The 0-2 pitch. Ooh, right in the middle of the plate on the cutter. Fouled at the plate. Off of Diaz, looks like. He seems to be okay, shaking it off. 0-2. Opportunity for a strikeout here. Yiner Diaz had to take a moment to walk around. The umpire gave him a few moments to recover. Oh, 0-2 pitch on the way to Benintendi in just a moment. Here it comes. Way outside. Ball 1. One and 2 with 2 outs. Runner on first. Let's see if Hunter Brown can get out of it here. I know you can do it. Here's the pitch. No, he goes over to first. Runner is back. One ball, 2 strikes. Are we going to have a pitch now? It looks like we're going to have a pitch. Here it comes. Right on the inside corner, strike three. Got him looking. Another K for Hunter Brown. Heck yes, we are out of the inning. After that rough first inning, Hunter Brown with 4 solid innings of work. Second inning, third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning. 4 straight innings of shutout ball by Hunter Brown. Astros and White Sox tied up 3-3. We go into the top of the 6th. Astros due up in just a moment. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's due up? Is it Caratini? Might be. We'll see. Information hasn't updated on the screen yet, but we'll see. Cullen says one more. Yes. That's right. He got it. Philip says Gold Glove Walker. Yeah, Walker and Paredes, man, they've been locked down as usual on the defensive side. Croker says hopefully there will not be any English bacon. I hate that I don't have access to crispy bacon like back stateside. I can't wait for this contract to finish so I can go back home and get some home cooking. Croker, I absolutely agree with you, man. The bacon in Japan is defined as so-so. And there's one thing I don't understand about Asian bacon. When they cook Asian bacon, not only is it not crispy like the bacon in the U.S., but they also don't cook it right. And if you go to China, it's even worse. And I kid you not, this is disgusting, but this is what they do. If you go to a place like a Subway sandwich shop and you ask for a BLT or you ask them to put bacon on your sandwich, they literally take raw bacon and they lay it on the sandwich and then they toast it. So whenever your sandwich comes to you, you have warm bacon, warm raw bacon on your sandwich. And I'm not exaggerating. I swear it is not an exaggeration. In Japan, it's not much better. But typically, they cook the bacon. It's just not cooked really well, and it's not crispy. 1-0 to Yainer Diaz. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back. 1-1. I don't know what it is about Asia and their bacon. Number one, their bacon is not that good. Number two, they don't cook it crispy. They don't cook it enough. Especially in China, man. It's crazy. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. 1-2. Any chorizo? I've never seen it here. Never seen that here. There are some Tex-Mex restaurants here and there, especially in the big cities. You'll find Mexican restaurants. If you go there and you find it, you might. But like where I'm at in this particular city where I'm at, it's not a big city. It's a small city. They don't even have any type of Mexican restaurant here. They used to have a small taco place, but it's closed. That's probably the best you can hope for in most cities in Japan, is to have like a taco place or a place with burritos, but it's not common. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yainer. That ball was in the dirt. Polish says, I was going to walk to the store myself and get some Applewood smoked bacon. Oh, man, that ball was almost in the dirt. Yainer swings and misses for strike 3, so there we go again with that chasing. Should have been ball 3. There is a Costco here, so if I want to get like the Applewood smoked bacon, I can get that. There are options to get around the bad local bacon. So it is possible to find some good stuff, but you just have to go to the right stores. Caratini is at the plate, this time batting right-handed. Fraser Ellard is pitching for the White Sox right now. So the White Sox had a change, and I didn't even notice it until just now when Caratini was batting righty. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Just a little... What? A strike? Are you kidding me? That was called a strike? That was like 3 inches outside of the zone. I was about to ring that up as a ball, but the umpire said strike. Fouled off. Now it's 1-2. Wow. I'm shocked. I'm just as shocked as the Astros commentators. Croker says they use a different cut of pork as well. We take it from the back. The Asians and Europeans take it from the stomach. Yeah, it's just so-so. The taste, the texture, everything about it is just so-so. Did an H-E-B in Japan? A heb? H-E-B? You're going to have to tell me what that is, Philip. Strike 3, looking for Caratini. The Batman goes down again. Once again, looking more like a novice Robin than a real Batman. Zach DeCenzo comes to the plate. DeCenzo today looking for his first hit. Now would be a good time for a big hit. Another one outside by a couple of inches called a strike. What in the world is going on with this umpire calling those strikes way out of the zone? That one's about a foot outside, called a ball, surprisingly. 1 ball, 1 strike. A strikeout and a flyout for DeCenzo today. Let's see if he can turn himself around here. Way inside and low, ball 2. 2-1. Oh, it's a grocery store. Okay, yeah, I don't know it. You have local Houston grocery store. Oh, I gotcha. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to DeCenzo. That one was low and inside. Not a good pitch to be swinging at. I'm in Webster, Texas, South Houston. Absolutely beautiful weather day. That's great. Here's the next pitch to DeCenzo. Way up and out of the zone. Full count. 2 outs, full count. No runners on. Here comes the 3-2 to DeCenzo. Fouls it off. Count remains 3-2. Whew, man. It's almost 5 in the morning here. The place I like to go have breakfast at isn't open until 8. DeCenzo takes ball 4, high and outside. Good at bat for DeCenzo. And we have ourselves a 2-out base runner. Frazier Ellard. I need to update the picture on the screen. I haven't put him on the screen yet. Oh, I've already got his picture in my folder. I didn't know that. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate. He has 1 hit today. I'm surprised that wasn't called a strike. Up and in, ball 1. Frazier Ellard, where's he at? There he is. DeCenzo is stealing second. He's not in there. No, he is. I thought he was thrown out. They might look at that one. Man, I thought he was out. I think we can take a look at it. Oh, he was safe. Okay. From the angle that I showed, it was from behind, so it looked like they got the tag there, but clearly he was safe. So that's good. DeCenzo with his first steal of the year. We got a runner on second now with 1 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one is high. 2-1 to Brendan Rodgers. 1 for 2 today with a single. A long single here could score DeCenzo and give the Astros the lead, but not with a swing like that. Low and inside. Strike 2. 2-2. It's about 9 p.m. here. I'm about to crash as I was up to 3 a.m. with you stream yesterday. Oh, yeah, man. I understand. It was a little difficult for me to get up today. I only got about 4 hours of sleep, but I think I can go back to sleep before breakfast if I want. Brendan Rodgers fouls that one off and stays alive. Count remains 2-2. $44 and raining. Temperature here now is 14 Celsius. A little chilly. Here's the pitch. Rogers fouls it off again. Count remains 2-2. That's 57 degrees Fahrenheit, by the way. It's 57 outside right now. Nice temperature. Especially for 5 in the morning. Not too cold. Probably going to be up to about 78 today. 78 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. Ball in the dirt. Full count. They called Jake the Rake on deck. Ball in the dirt. How do you like that? That'd be 2 walks in a row by Ellard. Now the pitching coach is going to come out and have a little chit-chat with him and say, hey, what exactly is going on in your head right now? Jake the Rake Roberts. Oh, they're going to make the pitching change. They're going to take Ellard out just as I'm getting his picture onto my screen. Now they're bringing in another pitcher. Just as I was getting him changed on my screen. Frazier Ellard is out. And Jake Myers, who has driven in all of the Astros runs so far this game, comes to the plate with 2 runners on. You guys want to see? Okay, so for the cycle, you need a single, double, triple, and a homer, right? Myers has the homer and the triple. He just needs a single and a double. Can you imagine if he got a double right here and drove in 2 more runs? He would have all of the Astros' 5 RBIs. And then later on gets a single and he gets a cycle. Can you imagine a Jake Myers cycle? Can you really imagine that? I would love to see such a thing, actually. That would be great. Jake Myers cycle. Jake being the biggest threat for the Sox is not on my bingo card, but here we are. Yes, that's right. Everybody's like, what the heck? Jake Myers? Really? You're going to bring in... Now, who would think about that? 2 runners on, 2 outs. Jake Myers comes to the plate. Pull the pitcher. Bring in another pitcher. Don't pitch to this guy. And it's not even the original guy who pitched to Myers to begin with. It's a completely different pitcher, but they pull him anyway. Pretty funny. Philip says double. Absolutely. I'm pulling for it, man. He's going backwards, right? He's got the homer, then the triple. Now he needs the double. Who's the pitcher? Penn Murphy. Penn Murphy is in the game for the White Sox. Do I have him? No, I do not. I need to download his picture. Myers swings and fouls that ball off. Penn Murphy. Oh, and 1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Myers hits it into left field. It could be gone, guys. I kid you not. It's gone. It's gone. Jake Myers with another home run, a 3-run blast. Can you believe it? I kid you not. I absolutely kid you not. Myers with 6 RBIs today, 2 home runs and a triple. Are you kidding me? They bring in a reliever. They don't pitch to Myers. They're not going to pitch to him. They bring in a reliever, and guess what? It doesn't matter. Jake Myers didn't have any home runs going into today. Now he has 2 and a triple. But yeah, they're saying now he can't get the cycle more than likely because of that home run. But holy cow. Holy cow. Jeremy Pena comes up with a base hit. He's got himself a single to left field. We got another base runner. Take a look at this. Inside pitch. That's the home run by Myers. Right out there, no doubter. Man, I keep hitting the wrong buttons here. I got to get used to that. Next batter is Jose Altuve with a runner on. Takes that pitch outside. Ball 1. Man. I changed my buttons here. I need to move them back around because I keep clicking the wrong buttons. Pin Murphy. That's hilarious. They bring in a reliever and Myers goes deep. It's 6-3 Astros. Throw over to first base. Pena is back. 2 outs. Pena on first. Altuve at the plate with an 0-1 count. Shouldn't that be a 1-0 count? I thought that ball was in the dirt. I don't remember him swinging. Another throw over to first base. Pena is back. Yeah, bingo croaker for sure. Philip says, well, absolutely. Jake started sitting on the bench. Yeah, apparently. Win is greater than cycle. I agree, Willbite. I agree 100%. Altuve chases a terrible pitch right there. Strike 2. He's 0-2. In this count. Man. 10 hits for the Astros so far. 6 runs all scored by Jake Myers himself. Holy freaking cow. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Altuve. It's way out. Oh, it's supposed to be outside, but it was thrown right down the middle. Altuve hits it up the middle, but it's fired over to first for the final out. So Altuve grounds out to end the inning. But Jake Myers, what else can you say? Holy cow. Man. I'm so stunned I don't even know what to say right now. But that's the end of the top of the 6th. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. The Astros up 6-3 thanks to the mighty swinging of Jake Myers. A solo home run, a 2-run triple, and a 3-run homer. All of the Astros runs on the back of one guy. Jake Myers. It's not Yordan Alvarez. It's Jake Myers. I'm saying that again. It's Jake Myers. Absolutely insane. Now the sun is just starting to come up outside. I just noticed it. It's 5 in the morning right now. 5 o'clock. Whew. Philip says he liked the Fred Van Vliet of the Astros. Man, I am going to... My avatar is probably going to go crazy on the screen because I need to stand up and stretch my legs a little bit. Make sure I don't stay sat down for too long. I do still take blood thinners every day. Blood thinners are pretty common medication, not too expensive, and I have to take one every day to reduce the risk of blood clots. That's something I'm going to have to just keep doing. I'm going to have to keep taking those blood thinners until I can get rid of this tumor. Hunter Brown is back on the mound. He's facing Louis Robert Jr. That first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. That one's hit hard, but foul. Strike 2. Hunter Brown out to a lead in the count, 0-2. I'm going to try to do a little stretching here, too. Strike 3. Wow. Nice. Strikeout for Hunter Brown. Take a look at this. In the dirt, just completely fooled him there. Swing and a miss. Good job by Brown to get that first out on the strikeout. First pitch coming up to Joshua Palacios. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 4 straight strikes for Hunter Brown. Is he in the zone now? Did he get inspired by Jake Myers? Let's see. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. A little foul tip. 5 straight strikes. Hunter Brown's going right after it, man. Oh, 0-2 pitch on the way in just a moment. My avatar's all over the screen. That's hilarious. Here's the pitch. Ooh, he tried that same pitch in the dirt, but he didn't go after it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brian King is warming up in the bullpen. The 7th inning guy has become the 7th inning guy. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. 2-2. Mr. Magnum PI. Brian King. 1 away with no runners on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brown pitching to Palacio. Here's the pitch. In the dirt again. Full count. So Hunter Brown had 5 strikes in a row. A strikeout and then 2 strikes to Palacio. Now he's got a full count on his hands. See if he can get out of this inning and have 6 complete. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. Heck yes. Hunter Brown gets the nice swing and a miss on the inside lower part of the plate. That's great stuff right there. Next batter comes up. Andrew Vaughn. Quickly, Hunter Brown is on the rubber. Here comes the pitch. A little outside. Ball 1. Winnow pitch on the way. Almost in the dirt there. Ball 2. Little low and outside. 6-3, the Astros are winning this game. A rough first inning for Hunter Brown, but after that he's been pretty locked down. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2/3 of an inning. Another ball there for Hunter Brown. 3-0 is the count. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Vaughn. Just inside, barely got the call. Strike 1. Could have gone either way. 3-1 is the count. I'd hate to see Hunter Brown get pulled right here if Vaughn gets on, but that might be what happens. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That was in there and fouled off. Full count. Hunter Brown with another opportunity for a strikeout. He could get out of the inning right here and have himself 6 complete innings. We'll see. We will see. He's looking for the call. He's got what he wants. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He gets the strikeout. Yes. Great stuff right there from Hunter Brown. 3 strikeouts in the 6th inning. 3 up and 3 down. He had to muscle through that last one, but he got it. Heck yes. So 6 complete innings for Hunter Brown. The 3 runs that he gave up in the first, that's been it. That's been it for him. Very, very happy to see that result. Okay, I just sat back down. I stood up through that whole inning, that whole half inning. Ooh, yeah, I needed to stand up a little bit and give myself a break from sitting down. I've got compression socks on my legs to help with the blood flow, to get that blood back up. Let's check out the chat right quick and see what's going on. Croker says Jake's now evolved from a snake to a dog. Pretty interesting. Pam says, way to go, Astros. I was getting groceries. My neighbor went shopping for me and I heard you going crazy with Myers hit. Yeah, I was so shocked by that. I was very excited about that. Pam says, I'm on a blood thinner and cholesterol medicine too now since my surgery. Yeah, you have to be careful with when you're on a blood thinner. Some things change and your body reacts different ways, and it takes some getting used to. And Philip says, split finger is nasty. Kind of reminds me of JV. Yeah, people say that a lot. Croker adds that the thing about the Astros pitching that gets my catcher Jimmy's in a bunch is that they sometimes get too dependent on painting the outside while completely forgetting their fastball. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they get a little cheeky, a little cute, and they wind up paying for it. Isak Paredes is at the plate, takes the first pitch from Penn Murphy, who's still in the game, for strike 1 on that outside corner. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt for ball 1. Count is even. Top of the 7th, guys. Casey says, cheers. Just watched the Myers second homer. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for being here. Here's the pitch. That's in the outside edge for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Paredes. 10 hits for the Astros this game. 3 of those belong to Mr. Jake Myers, the man of the game for sure. Here comes a pitch to Paredes. High and inside, fouled off. Count remains 1-2. I've never had to take cholesterol medicine, but I can understand why they have you on it, Pam. Here comes the pitch to Paredes. That one's hit hard to left field, but it's going to be right at the left fielder. Put away for out number 1. One away. And that brings up Christian Walker. Walker so far doing nothing today. 1 strikeout. Here comes the first pitch to him. Murphy's delivery. That's hit up the middle. It looks like it's going to be playable by the center fielder, and it is. 1 pitch to him, and he flies out. 2 away. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate. He has really helped himself a lot with 2 hits today, bringing up his average to 222. It's nice to see him up in the 200s, getting closer and closer to 250. He needs to be close to 300. That's where he should be. Here comes the first pitch to him, and he rips that in the left field all the way out to the wall. What a good catch by Benintendi. Man, that was a line drive all the way out to the wall. Yainer Diaz is not happy about that one. But that was a really good over-the-shoulder catch right at the wall. Sadly, no replay there, but it's okay. Out number 3. They go into the 7th inning stretch in Chicago. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Astros up 6-3. Hunter Brown likely out of this game. He got up to 98 pitches. Brian King was warming up in the bullpen. Most likely it's going to be him. Woo, big sneeze. I had to turn my mic off. Luckily, you guys didn't have to deal with that. I'm going to go ahead and change the picture on the screen to Brian King. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the guy. There we go. Boom. Philip says Abreu worries me. Sometimes he can be a little shaky, but you know, when he is pitching like he can pitch, he's really locked down. As long as he doesn't give up. If he doesn't have base runners, then I think it's pretty much no problem. But once he gets base runners, that's where we have issues. Pam says 2 arteries were 100% blocked. The other was 80% blocked, so I was really supplying blood to heart and didn't realize it. Wow. Only just 1. That's nuts. I'm glad that that was caught and taken care of. Really glad that that was taken care of, Pam. That's difficult. I have veins that are being blocked, return veins that are being blocked because of my tumor. And so right now, if you were to look at my torso, you'll see a lot of bulging veins because my body is having to find alternate routes to get the blood back up. It's pretty ridiculous. So I do have a blockage, but it's my renal vein because of the tumor. 1-0 is the count. King is on the mound facing Matt Thaiss. That pitch is right on the edge, a strike, but he calls it a ball. What in the world is going on with this umpire, man? He's always missing those outside edges. It's too far out, he calls it a strike. It's too far, it's in there, and he calls it a ball. Swing and a miss there. Can't call that a ball. He looked like he was very unhappy to call it a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. See what the next pitch is from Magnum PI. Whoa, not framed very well by Yainer Diaz in the lower part of the zone. Ball 3 on that fastball. These are not bad pitches from King, but umpire's not giving him any love. Swing and a miss there by Thaiss, and he loses his helmet. Now we have a full count. I think that saying that Brian Abreu has become the new Presley, that's way too early to be saying. Definitely not Presley right now. Myers puts that one away. A little fly ball by Thaiss out to center field for out number 1. So King gets the first batter on a fly out. An easy little fly to center field. It's the ghost of Angel Hernandez passed. Pam says that was what I had, but chemo probably caused mine years ago. I never noticed it as it became a way of life. Yeah. When I first started having symptoms of this cancer, I just thought I was out of shape. I tried to go to the gym, and I got worse and worse. And then swinging a foul ball, strike 2 on Lennon Sosa. King moving quickly here. He's getting 2 pitches in before I can even call the first one. Here's the 0-2. Just a little outside misses. Whoa, they called it a strike? Wow. Well, I'm glad the Astros finally got that same call because they've been not giving them to Hunter Brown. That was at least 2, maybe even 3 inches off the plate, and they called it a strike. But okay, call it both ways, I guess. Out number 2. That brings up Brooks Baldwin. Takes that first one right in the outside edge there for strike 1. Next pitch is in the dirt. Ball 1, 1-1. But yeah, Pam, I was working as a teacher at a school, and on the weekends I would go out to my house to do some work. But from the bus stop to my house, it was like a 40-minute walk. Next pitch, check swing, he holds up, and it's a little high. 2 balls, 1 strike. But that walk became more and more difficult, and I was like, man, why am I in such bad shape? And it was because I was getting the effects of the tumor. That one's in there. 79-mile-per-hour sweeper, strike 2. The count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for King facing Brooks Baldwin here in the bottom of the 7th. That's hit out into right field, and sliding catch by Zach DeCenzo, who puts it away. Nice grab. 3 up and 3 down for Brian King, with a little bit of help from DeCenzo on that opposite field would-be single. Good job right there. Good job by King. Good job by DeCenzo. Me likey. Me likey. Let's see who's going to be up for the White Sox here in just a moment. Likely not Murphy anymore. I've still got Ellard on the screen. I haven't changed it. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Pam, literally, I was struggling more and more. My side was hurting, and I was running out of breath. Going uphill was becoming really, really difficult. And then one day at the school, I suddenly had to go to the toilet, which I thought was strange because I'd already gone to the toilet. And it felt different. And when I went, there was nothing but blood and blood clots. Of course, I went to the clinic. They said that more tests needed to be done. I needed to go to the main hospital. I went to the main hospital. They did tests, and they said, you have a cancer tumor. Large cancer tumor on your kidney. Very serious. Too big to do surgery. So, that was 3 years ago. Almost exactly 3 years ago, by the way. It was May of 2022. And I've been fighting with that ever since. But I was taking the cellular inhibitor for the past year. And it was difficult to adjust to at first. But then it really started helping me a lot. And I would say after several months of helping me out, it started to have not so much the great effect that it had before. And so it started to taper off, and now I don't have insurance, so I can't afford it. If I don't have insurance, that medicine costs over $2,000 a month, and I obviously can't do that, so I'm just not taking it now. Victor Caratini is at the plate. Takes the first pitch in there for strike 1. He's facing Jared Schuster. He hits this one down the line all the way out to left field into the wall. He's going to go for 2. Victor Caratini with a right-handed double to left field. A leadoff double. Good strike by the Batman. Let's take a look at that. Slider right in the middle of the plate and just strokes it all the way out to left field. Good hit. That brings up Zach DeCenzo. We got ourselves a leadoff runner on second. In the top of the 8th. I don't know why I didn't change that information on the screen. I'm sorry about that. 11 hits now for the Astros. That was a strike to DeCenzo. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. A little outside, ball 1. Schuster, I need to update the picture on the screen. The way the game moves nowadays, it just moves so quickly. I don't have much time to change the information on the screen. Ball 2 way inside, 2-1 to DeCenzo. Jared Schuster, there we go. Got his picture on the screen now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. DeCenzo hit to left field all the way out to the wall. It's going to go to the wall, and that's going to drive in Caratini. Let me see if I can show that on the screen here. DeCenzo with a big hit into the gap, left center field, all the way to the wall. 2 doubles, back-to-back doubles. Caratini easily able to score. Here we go. Right up the middle there. Boom. 107.2 miles per hour off the bat of DeCenzo. 7-3 Astros. That brings up Brendan Rodgers, who's 1 for 2 today. No outs, runner on second. Jared Schuster. If I can get his name on the screen before they take him out. First pitch to Rodgers on the way. This is hit to center field pretty deep. All the way out to the wall. Caught at the warning track. Easy for DeCenzo to tag and go to third. We have ourselves a guy on third base. Little sacrifice by Rodgers, moving DeCenzo over to third. Astros bidding to get some more runs. 1 away. First run scored today by the Astros, not by Jake Myers. Speaking of Myers, he's at the plate right now. Takes that first pitch for strike 1. Here comes the pitch. This is hit hard into left field. Is it going to be back? Yes, it's going all the way to the wall. Are you kidding me? It's going all the way to the wall. Jake Myers with another double. He's got the double. 7 RBIs for Jake Myers today. Can you believe that? A double all the way to the wall. Jake Myers, what are you on, man? What are you on today? Triple, double, 2 home runs? What in the world is going on? Jeremy Pena comes to the plate with Myers on second. Jeremy grounds to shortstop. Should be an out at first, and he gets it. That's 2 away. Holy freaking cow. What is going on here? Astros up 8-3. Can you guys believe it? Croker says, where was all this yesterday? Amen. Double amen to that, man. Oh, 1 more like and I'll have 20. Just need 1 more like on the channel. Altuve's at the plate. Can he jump in on the action? We'll see. That first pitch, thankfully, is taken for ball 1. It was a good foot off the plate. Here comes the next pitch to Altuve. He takes that one in the dirt. Good take by Altuve, 2-0. First hitter in Astros history in the 9th slot to have 4 extra base hits in a game. Jake Myers. That one's in there for strike 1. Altuve takes that one. 2-1. Man, Myers is now batting .295 again. Whew. Here comes a 2-1 count pitch to Altuve. That one's in the lower part of the zone and fouled off by Altuve. 2-2. Holy shnikes, Jake Day. Holy shnikes. Woodbite says Myers telling Espada through his actions not to sit him again. Yeah, man. Keep him in the game for now. Oh, Altuve goes down literally swinging and he falls to the ground. He slipped. Man, what in the world was going on there? 13 total bases advanced by Myers. 7 runs batted in. Absolutely insane. Insane. 22 likes. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. We cleared my hopeful goal for the day. 20 likes. Now we're at 22. I don't know if it'll get to 30 like it did yesterday. That would be awesome if it did. But, man, today is International Jake Day, just like Bubba says. Holy shnikes, it's International Jake Day, and I am celebrating Jake Day here in Japan. What a game. Now, think about how crazy this is. The Astros are winning 8-3, but if you just took away all of Jake Meyers' RBIs, the Astros would be losing 3-1. I want you to really think about that. Jake Meyers has the double, the triple, and the 2 home runs. That's 4 hits. In total, the Astros have 13 hits. So out of the 9 hits that the other Astros have, they've only managed to score 1 run. Just 1. Let's reset all of these stats. We are in the bottom of the 8th. Who's going to be on the mound for the Astros? Is it going to be Abreu? Abreu with this big lead, a 5-run lead. Is he in the game? We're going to see. Chase Mydroth is coming to the plate. Yep, Jose Abreu. No, definitely not Jose Abreu. Brian Abreu is in the game for the Astros. Can you imagine Jose Abreu pitching on the mound? That would be a disaster. Or maybe not. Who knows? There we go. First pitch is a ball from Abreu. Here comes the next pitch. That's in there for strike. A 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Count is even, 1-1. 1-1. Woo! Curveball or a slider. Looked like a curveball to me, but it got the outside corner or the outside edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You never know what that umpire is going to call those outside pitches. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Abreu. Mydroth takes that one in the dirt for ball 2. The count is even. Even Steven. Phillips says, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Can you imagine the Astros playing like this for the rest of the year with their 8, 9 hitters rocking the bat? That'd be awesome. Here's the pitch. Too far outside. Full count. The slider missing wide by almost a foot. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Way high and outside. A wild leadoff walk for Abreu. And this is where we have to tell Abreu to focus, because when he gets runners on base, he tends to have some issues. Pam says, I hope he doesn't mess up what we've got ahead right now. Yeah, what a disappointing game it would be. I don't even want to think about it. For Myers to do all of this, be almost 100% of the Astros' run production, and the only reason why we have the lead, and for the pitchers to just break down in the 8th and 9th inning. That'd be terrible. And to a team like the Sox, the White Sox. The Astros overall have not been hitting the ball like they should against the White Sox. But we do have a score on the board that is what we should have against the White Sox. It would be nice to preserve it. 10 more runs is fine by me. Here comes the first pitch to Miguel Vargas. Right in there, 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Abreu. Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Abreu. 0-2 is the count. He jumps ahead. Runner on first, no outs. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Abreu. Vargas swings, and that'll be a strikeout for Abreu, out number 1. Vargas goes down hacking. Shoo! Go have a seat. 1 away. Andrew Benintendi comes to the plate, batting lefty. Here's the first pitch. Check swing, did he go? They say he did not. Ball 1, just a little high on that pitch. Not a bad pitch. Just didn't get the full swing. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the delivery. This one's hit high in the air. It looks like it's going to be playable by Pena. And it is. He puts it away. 2 outs. Looking good. We still got the runner on first base, but it's okay. Looking good so far. Louis Robert Jr. is 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts, all against Hunter Brown. He's 0 for 3 in his career against Abreu. He hasn't done well at all against him, and that first pitch is an indicator of how things might continue to go. Strike 1, slider on the outside edge. 0-1 pitch from Abreu on the way. Way outside, ball 1. Oh, got 24 likes, 6 more to 30. Is it going to happen? We'll see. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That ball, the bottom fell out of it. That was a great pitch by Abreu. Just really tricked him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Possible strikeout incoming right here from Abreu. Louis Robert Jr. swing and a miss. Strike 3. Abreu gets out of the inning with the strikeout. How do you like that? Abreu does his job. Ryan Presley, he is not, guys. Not right now. Not right now. We go into the top of the 9th. Astros have 1 more opportunity to pile on some runs. Are they going to give Jake Myers another chance to get up at the plate and get that cycle? That would be insane. Can you imagine if the Astros start getting some more hits? Myers comes up and gets like a bases loaded single. Can you imagine him scoring another couple runs, putting up like 9 runs and the cycle with 2 home runs? Even the greatest players don't have games like that. To do the cycle and have 2 home runs? Who does that? And Jake Myers is just 1 hit away from doing that. He likely will not hit this inning unless the Astros have some kind of added rally. But you never know. We wouldn't have guessed that he would ever have a game like this. So anything can happen, I guess. Philip says toasting hoagies tonight with bacon crispy. Sounds yummy. Pam says, ooh, thank God. Yeah, you can breathe a sigh of relief. We are just 1 inning away from putting this one in the bag, right? Polish says we have game 6 tonight. Houston Rockets versus Golden State. Yeah, go Rockets. I'm not following the NBA. But, of course, I do wish the Rockets well. Oh, well, let's see here. It says that Game 6... Oh, did you mean Game 7? I think the series is tied, right? Game 6, the Rockets won, 115 to 107. So shouldn't that be Game 7? Yeah, it looks like the series is tied right now, 3-3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just a few minutes ago, like 37 minutes ago, maybe. Yeah, nice. Okay, good. Croker says, I'm curious about Lance coming back tomorrow. Hope he doesn't get hurt again. Yeah, let's just wish him the best. Let's believe in him. I don't think he's planning to pitch a full game by any means. I think they're only going to let him pitch a few innings. We'll see. 2-2 is the count against Paredes. Apparently, I missed 4 pitches, and there's the 5th one, a strikeout. While I was looking up some information about the Rockets, I missed those pitches against Paredes, out number 1. No harm, no foul. Schuster is still on the mound for the White Sox. Christian Walker's at the plate. It'd be nice for him to get at least 1 hit today. We don't need him to score runs, but just do something, you know. Ball 1 low. Here's the pitch. Fouled away down the first baseline and into the crowd for strike 1. 1-1. Jake the Man Myers. Here's the pitch to Walker. High and outside. Ball 2. $25 likes on the live stream. If you guys haven't clicked like, please do that now. Walker might have an infield hit. No, he doesn't get there in time. Yeah, he did his best, you know. Walker, you know, too bad. No hits for Walker today. He's 0 for 5. Destroying his batting average. What is he at right now on his batting average? 190. He was close to 200, and with that 0 for 5 performance today, Yainer Diaz is at the plate. Takes that first pitch outside for ball 1. Diaz is not having a bad day. He's batting 2 for 4. A couple of hits. Hits this one way up high and out of play. Counts 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Yainer. That looked pretty bad. Looked similar to that hack that Altuve took earlier. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on. Yeah, I was saying earlier, if you haven't liked the live stream, I would appreciate you doing so now. It's just a few away from 30. Ground ball to third base, fired over to first, and they put away Diaz. And that's out number 3. I don't know why I had 1 out on the screen, but that's 3 away. That's it for the Astros in the 9th. No more runs, no more opportunity for Jake Myers to get that cycle. We go into the bottom of the 9th. Now it's just up to the Astros to hold this lead, this 5-run lead over the White Sox, and we will even up the series. 13 hits for the Astros today. 4 of those courtesy of our good friend Jake Myers. 2 home runs, a double, and a triple for the man. He has put up all but 1 of our runs on the board. Brian Abreu was on the mound for the Astros in the 8th. I'm wondering if they will have... I can't imagine that they would have Hader in with a 5-run lead. But they might, just to try to lock it down. We'll see. Philip says, watching Vikings on DVD today after the game. Good series. Is this like a... What kind of series is that, Philip? Is it like a fictional show? Or is it like more like a documentary type show? Documentary series? I don't know. I haven't heard of it. Most everything I watch... Actually... Most of the time when I'm listening or watching something, it's a book. I don't know if you guys know Neville Goddard. These are the guys I listen to mostly. I listen to lectures and books that they've put out in the past. And the main reason is because of health and getting my life in order, financially, career-wise, and health, but especially right now, health and relationships, etc. I really want those things to be not just the best they can be, but at the very least, they need to be good. And if what I'm seeing around me, if the appearance is not good, then I believe that comes from the inside out. I'm creating that. So I need to change what's on the inside. So I spend most of my time listening to and watching stuff like that. Don't really watch any series at all. Actually, I watch a zero series. Logan Van Way is on the mound for the Astros. This is hit hard into right field, but should be playable for DeCenzo, and it is out number 1. Joshua Palacios goes down on the flying ball. Logan Van Way. I think I have his picture in my folder. Yes, I do. I have a picture of Van Way. There we go. 1 ball, no strikes is the count to Andrew Vaughn. He hits this one out in the left field. Is that going to be playable? No, that's down. It'll be a single. So the White Sox have a 1-out base runner on first. Von Way gives up the single to left field. I'm not surprised to see the Astros didn't go with Hader. Here comes the first pitch to Matt Thaiss, the next batter. Foul ball, strike 1. 93-mile-per-hour fastball. Runner on first with 1 away. Vikings is fictional but based on real Vikings, says Croker. Okay, I see. Next pitch, swing and a miss again, up and in. Good pitch, 93-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-2. 0-2 pitch from Von Way coming in just a moment. And here it comes. Fouled off. Count remains 0-2. We are 2 outs away from putting this one in the books for the Astros. 0-2 pitch to Matt Thaiss on the way. This one's hit up the middle, another base hit into right field, a single. DeCenzo comes in and scoops it up, fires it in. Runner stays at second. Now the White Sox have runners at first and second. With 1 out. Pam says, I love your avatar. Thank you, Pam. I tried so hard to make this one a long time ago, but I couldn't do it. It was just out of my abilities. So I contacted somebody to help me out with it. And they combined my favorite anime character with the Astros and my logo all together. Is exactly what I wanted. You know, if you know the character Naruto, he has the headband with the leaf symbol on it. I changed that to the Astros. And then, of course, the outfit that Naruto wears is always kind of like the navy blue and orange, similar to the Astros. And then I got the logo put on for my channel, so, yeah. Philip says, as a Native American, history is powerful, but life moves on. That's true. Here's the first pitch to Lennon Sosa. A little outside, ball 1. White Sox have runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 9th. With 1 out, here's the pitch from Von Way. That's a strike on the outside edge, 1-1. Pam, later on I have the option of getting some extra stuff that whenever I move my hands and my arms around, the avatar will follow. It's a camera operated avatar, so it can move its hands and arms and body and eyes and mouth and everything according to what it sees, but it won't move its arms and hands until I get these extra controllers. So maybe in the future I'll do that. We'll see. 1-1 is the count. Sosa, here's the pitch. A little low and away. Ball 2. 2-1. Logan Von Way, his ERA right now is 1.5 over 10 innings pitched. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. 93. High fastball. The count is even. 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Sosa swings and fouls it back. Stays alive. Two balls, two strikes, one out. Here's the pitch. This one's hit way up in the air. Infield. Should be playable, and it is by Brendan. Puts it away. Mr. Rogers, welcome to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and 2 away. Astros 1 out away from winning this game. Brooks Baldwin comes to the plate, a lefty, 0 for 2 today. It's about 5:45. I'm sorry, 5:45 in the morning here. Here comes the first pitch. Swing and a miss by Baldwin, strike 1. 93-mile-per-hour fastball. This game ends before 6 o'clock. That means that I might have about 2 hours I can take a nap before I go eat. Here's the 0-1 pitch. High for ball 1. 1-1. Runners on first and second with 2 outs, 1-1. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. Strike 2. 1 pitch away. How many likes did I get to for this live stream? Still at 25, but still good. It cleared 20, and I'm happy with that. Here comes the next pitch from Von Way. Strike 3 on the inside. He gets the call, gets him looking, and the Astros win this game. So despite those 2 base runners, Von Way gets through it with a strikeout. The Astros win this game 8-3, all on the back of Jake Myers, who had 2 home runs, a triple, and a double. How do you guys like that? Excellent. Yeah, a power nap. That's what I need right now. Hopefully I'm able to sleep and get that rest because I really, really need it. I've got some moving to do today. A friend of mine is coming over in a little while. My van is already mostly packed of stuff. We're going to drive from here. It's about an hour out to my old house. And then we're going to unload all that stuff and come back here. But let's do a quick update. This game was all Jake Myers all the time. But let's go back and take a look. In the very first inning, the Astros got a couple of hits early but could not capitalize. But in the bottom of the first, the White Sox did. They put 3 on the board. A single to left field, scored a run. Scored 1 run, and then a single to center field, scored 2 more. So they scored 3 runs in the very first inning, and that would be all they would score on Hunter Brown or for the rest of the game. And the top of the third, it became Jake Myers' day. Solo homer to left field, 3-1, White Sox. And the top of the fourth, Myers tripled to center field, scoring 2 runs, tied the game up 3-3. In the top of the sixth, Myers again homer to left field, 3-run shot, scoring DeCenzo and Rogers, 6-3 Astros. In the top of the eighth, DeCenzo doubled to left field, scoring Caratini, 7-3 Astros, the first and only run of the game that was scored by somebody other than Jake Myers. And speaking of Jake Myers, Again in the top of the eighth, Myers doubled to center field, scoring Senzo 8-3 Astros. Myers not only had 2 home runs, a triple, and a double today, but he came really, really close to having a cycle. Absolutely insane, crazy day today. In Astros history, no ninth hole batter has ever had a better day than the day that Myers had today. 7 of the Astros' 8 runs came off the bat of Jake Myers. And without him, the Astros lose this game. Without his hits today, the Astros lose this game. Astros are now 17-15, 6-8 on the road. Oh my gosh. And tomorrow we have another game about the same time. For me, it's 3 o'clock in the morning basically. I will be here. I've got this game on my schedule. If you guys are interested in being back, like Kroger says, winner, winner, chicken dinner. I really do appreciate you being here very, very much. If you guys aren't listening and following along, I would absolutely not be here, and that is for sure. Pam says, I'm happy I missed last night and weeks ago. Yes, I understand. Cy Young Brown, he's pitching really well. That first inning was rough, but he got over it. Bubba said, just been lurking as watching. Had to say hey from Nolan. Wish everyone a happy Jake Day. Thank you, Bubba. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your lurking. Croker says, good game. I'm headed to bed. Have a good night. Get some rest. I'm gonna get a nap myself. Philip says, you good? Yeah, I'm all right. I do need to get some rest, some more sleep, but I believe I can get at least 2 hours of sleep and check in with a friend of mine. But after that, we're gonna take some of my stuff to my house. I'm in the process of moving, but I'll let you guys know about how that goes. Thank you again so much for being here today. The Astros pull this one out, even the series, and thanks to the bat of Jake Myers, manhandle the White Sox. And that's all she wrote for today, and all I have to say now is, as usual, go Stros. I will see you guys in the next game tomorrow, Game 3.